Hello again, this is part 3 and hopefully the final part of my little tutorial on photography sales tips, how to make money as a photographer, as a sports photographer. So as I mentioned before, and hopefully you watch part 1 and 2, so because I don't want to do a big recap because I want to make this kind of short, but I was going over different bullet points that I picked out that would help to that would help you to make money being a photographer, keeping the cost down and maximizing your sales. Now, what I was going to explain was this: have a sales goal, okay, and offer incentives when the sales goal is reached. And this is what I mean. I'm sure a lot of you have seen different fundraiser drives, maybe on like some kind of a public channel or something of that, a television channel. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. That's something they used to do. I don't know if they still do that, but anyway, you would have a little thing that's like a thermometer, okay, with numbers on it, with goals of whatever you're trying to reach, and you would show when it's being reached. We have at our sales desk, we have I keep a little thermometer thingy with a red, yellow, and green pencil. And what would happen is this. This is just my personal method with this. When it's in the red, okay, we're at the bottom in the red. I haven't even broken even yet because again, excuse me. I'm sorry. I explained about expenses. I have the vendor fee. I have to pay my crew. I have to the transportation to get there. All of that stuff. Those are expenses that are necessary and they have to be done. So you start off these events could be a couple $100s in the hole because you have to work your way up to even making that much. So that's the red. Then when we reach the yellow, I've broken even. So all of my expenses are paid, but still, obviously, if I'm going to be at an event for 2 days, 12 hours a day, I want to make money at it, obviously. And I don't mean like in a greedy way, but obviously, I mean, when you're doing any kind of work, if you're breaking even, you're not earning anything. You could be working and I'm not knocking these jobs, but you could be working in a McDonald's or a convenience store, and if they're okay, now granted, you don't have to pay anything to be there, they're paying you, but when you're getting a wage of a certain amount per hour, even if it's a small amount. I'm not saying it is, but anyway, if you wind up making nothing there, and you worked all day, and you made nothing or maybe $1 or something like that it's completely worthless for you. And for us, like I might have mentioned this, we travel fairly, and pre-COVID, of course, we travel fairly extensively for these tournaments. Oh, I should mention too that sometimes there's even the hotels. Okay, so we travel for these tournaments. I have to pay my vendor fee. I have to pay my crew. So the yellow is just after we've broken even, where all of that stuff is paid, but it still isn't what I would consider a decent wage for that job for the day or that weekend. So once we reach the green, that's the sales goal. That's when I've broken even. I've also, after all expenses, I've made enough that I think it's worthwhile for me to have done the job. Now, once we reach that sales goal, that's when my crew makes a small commission. Okay, so they make their whatever the contract wage is, and then after that, they'll make a percentage of everything that we've made after we reach the green sales goal. And what that does, again, like I explained before about making sure that you vet your staff, okay, I've had pretty good people working for me, but I've noticed that once I start doing that, it might be unconscious because I'm not going to say they're goofing around before I did that, but they would work. But once we started doing that, the sales went up because they have a vested interest in and having sales. They would, and of course, when they would try to push the sales in a good way, you had to explain, not to sound like a used car salesman, but when they try to push the sales, we make more sales. They're happy because they're making a commission, and sometimes their commission is actually higher than their contract. We've done, actually, before COVID, and in 2020, I think we did maybe 4 or 5 volleyball tournaments. Only one of them were not very good. The other ones, we made a lot over sales goal. And the guy working for me, he made more, again, with his commission than he did with his regular job. Now, okay, my battery's dying, so those are the tips I have, and I will have a part 4. I'll be back.